And thus we enter into Fort Exile. This is the meat of the game. You can see these little round dots on the floor. These are special events. When you step on them, stuff happens. Basically, plot happens. They're plot points. Plot balls of doom. Mostly of doom. Sometimes plot balls of goodness, but mostly of doom. In any case, the portal from the surface world is still here, glowing brightly. You try to approach, but strange waves of force push you back. You can't even get close. Clearly, if you're going to escape from this pit, it won't be through here. Yeah, so very predictably, the teleporter that whomstever uses to sort of cast people down here, it's generally one way. People haven't really found a way to sort of go back through it. And thus we land into Fort Exile. As the introduction said, there's a small man that sort of is waiting for us, so we can sort of talk to this man. You see a small man. He smiles at you nervously. His skin is incredibly pale in the strange light of the fungus. That's a teensy bit weird, but it makes sense. Basically, we're underground, and this entire cave system is sort of basically covered in glowing mushrooms, which give off the light. It's a bit strange. And now the way you actually talk to people in this game is actually fairly interesting. You get a text box, you can sort of type random garbage into it, and they're just not gonna understand, no. So basically you have to find the right keywords to talk to people, and figure out basically what they all have to say. There's two keywords that everybody responds to. The first one is name. I'm Andrew. On behalf of King Mika, not to mention your thousands of fellow inmates, I would like to welcome you to Exile. There we go. And the second keyword is job. I wait for new arrivals, such as yourselves, and welcome them. Well, that's fantastic. So now we basically have to use this information to sort of talk to this man further. Can we talk about the king? Can we talk about... No? Okay. Can we talk about inmates? No, we cannot. Can we talk about, Exile? Yes, Exile. That's what we call this place. We're all exiles here, after all. Sort of makes sense. He smiles, sadly. Yeah. Well then, that's the name drop of the game out of the way. What's your job? He sort of waits for new arrivals. Okay, so he welcomes them. What does that mean? To ease the considerable shock of being cast into the underworld, of course. So, welcome to the underworld. He pauses to think. Also, I'm here to say where you can get information and supplies. Ooh, that sounds useful actually. So, how about that info? That guy is a town sage. He lives and works in the building to the southwest. He's a bit glum, but he does his job well. He will answer your questions as best he can. Of course, you should get supplies first. Okay. So where do we get supplies then? To prevent certain problems, new arrivals are sent to Tor to get modest supplies to support themselves until they find work. He's in the building to the south. We found that doing otherwise results in desperate, dangerous, and violent new citizens. This way you'll have a fair chance. What you do with it when you leave here is your own business. Oh, that's fucking sweet. They basically have UBI. That's amazing. Alright, so that gives us plenty to do. The first things first is go visit the supply man, which I think is here. Yeah, there we go. How you doing, you strapping young man? Sitting behind the corner is a tall man, wearing a bronze armor. Behind him is a large rack of crude stone weapons. Stone weapons, wow. He says in a deep voice, I am Tor, weapons handler of Fort Exile. Fantastic. Can I have your things? Sometimes I maintain the weapons of the guards, sometimes I guard travelers going to Silvar, but mostly I give supplies to newcomers. Okay, before I start groveling for like trinkets, can you tell me more about Silvar? Town to the west, you should ask that guy about it. He lives down the road to the west. take the first left, he lives on the right. Fantastic. Anything else you can tell me? Can you tell me about your guarding job? No? How about maintain the weapons of the guards? No? Ah, here we go. He looks back at the weapons in disdain. Pretty crude work, huh? Metal is rare down here. Tools to work it, rarer still. And magic. Good luck. Yeah, so about that UBI. Sweet. He hands you food, a pouch of money, and some weapons. And there we go. Yes, we do actually need food in this game. This is our food, this is our gold, and if you don't have food, you start fucking starving and dying. This game is actually kind of brutal. It's not easy. Once you get into it, you sort of get into the flow, but starting off is really, really hard. In any case, as you can tell, he gave us a few extremely basic items. They're all basically stone daggers, which suck ass. Leather baldricks, which suck ass. But you know, we're gonna have to do with it until we find something better. I'm gonna give the darts to whoever. I don't think I actually gave throwing skills to anybody. I'm probably gonna do that later, like as soon as my other skills sort of round out a bit, I might put a bit into throwing, but for now, it's kind of useless. Let's see, I'm gonna give you a shield. I'm gonna give the helmet to one of my... Maybe I should give it to Doc. I'm gonna try to protect Doc a bit. Give a bronze shield to Havel, give a bronze helm to Robin. Is that gonna be good enough? The answer is no. Because most of my characters aren't even trained in like daggers and shit, so... But it's fine, it's fine. We're gonna find new stuff soon enough. We're gonna have to go out and explore, you know? There we go. Fantastic. Can I sort of take a look in your room? Is this where you masturbate? Oh my goodness, you live like this, really? Jesus Christ. In any case, we can go outside, and sort of walk the perimeter, but yeah. As soon as you step outside of the bounds of a level, you sort of get into the world map, and I'm not particularly ready to do that yet. So let's just head back inside. There's guard stations at every gate. These guys are usually fairly grumpy. They don't have a lot to say. Yeah. They bring doom to anyone I'm being told to bring doom to. Essentially, the guards are here to sort of, well, sometimes special events happen, which, you know, I'm not gonna spoil. But if you decide to go a little crazy and start attacking the townfolk, yeah, then the guards are gonna come after your ass. And they are gonna own you, especially if you're low level. Because these guys are tough. In any case, let's see what the sign says. A well-maintained sign says pass through the portal. 117,832. So that's 100,000 people living in these caves. That's interesting. What do we have here? The Barracks. Okay. Who's that dude? Hey buddy, are you a guard? A powerfully built woman, wearing chainmail with a strange insignia. Her reddish cheeks contrast strongly with the paleness of her skin. What's your name? I'm Acacia. That's an interesting name, I suppose. What's your job? I'm the guard captain for the barracks here at Fort Exile. We got a bunch of good men, and when the Nephilim come for us, we'll give them a good run. We work best on defense. Oh, that's news. So, yeah, this is a fort. I pretty much gathered it from, like, the walls, but what the fuck are Nephilim? You'd best ask that guy. Okay. Anything else? Can you tell me more about the guards? Or defense? Yeah, it's a tough job, but important. If the Nephilim take this fort, newly arriving humans fall into their hands. And then she draws a thumb across her neck and makes a charming noise. I have little hope for peace, I'm afraid. Yeah. So as you can gather, the Nephilim are some sort of mysterious but very hostile force, which we're gonna meet fairly soon. In any case, anything else in the barracks? Can I talk to this strapping young lad? Yeah, he's just a guard. That's fine then. In Exile 2, you would probably be wise to sort of check all these drawers containing items, but these actually, I don't think these contain anything. No. Nope, nada. Can I have a look at the map? So this is basically the fort. This place is fairly simple. As you can tell, we pretty much explored like half of it. There's like a strange man T-posing at us, very menacingly. I'm not sure if I can trust him. A worn and scarred middle-aged man. He carries a potted plant and a shovel. Oh, he's a gardener, look at that. I'm Dunbar, fantastic. I'm the groundskeeper and gardener, and fix-it man. I like gardening best, but I do what they need. Okay? What do you mean? Yeah, we've bred some pretty weird plants down here. All sort of mushrooms for food and fodder. Those weird twisted trees for what little wood we have, and so on. Mages make plants, I grow them. Wait, mages? Really? They live in a tower to the south or something. All the mages go there. They do all the standard weird stuff with demons and such, but they make plants too. Without them, we'd all be dead. Yeah, so this is basically this setting that's sort of starting to do a little bit of world building. Very far to the south, there is a mage's tower, and this mage's tower is gonna come into play really, really hard and painfully. In any case, let's see what this man has to say. So he likes gardening. You do what they need. That's fine then. That's perfect. Is there anybody else here? I mean, I could sort of try to walk the perimeter again. Sometimes you can actually find interesting stuff across the perimeter. For example, there's a fucking refuse pit, which is not very useful. Anything else though? No, that seems to be it. Okay then, can I exit to the north? Probably not, no. So there's still one important person that we have to find. This is storage. I spent my childhood going through these barrels, making sure there is nothing to find. There is absolutely nothing. I tried. So I'm gonna spare you sort of the waste of time. Who is this lady? Let's see. A middle-aged woman who seems to be in a big hurry. Like everyone you've met, she's extremely pale. I'm Janice, dear. You can call me Jan if you want. I'm in charge of supplies for the fort. The soldiers, they cook on their own, and I'm the one they go to for food, and weapons, and clothes. It's tedious work, but it keeps me busy as long as Theral, that guy, is stationed out here. Yeah, and Theral, as it turns out, is actually her husband, the sage. He helps new arrivals get acclimated. Being out here depresses him terribly. Being at the border. Wait, the border of what? Between the humans and the Nephilim. He's convinced they'll storm the fort any day now. Who knows? He may be right. It doesn't look great for Fort Exile. They seem to be under a I wouldn't say under attack, but you know, it's getting there. Who's this person? Sort of wandering this tiny pond. You see a shy, frail woman picking mushrooms. I'm Diane. Okay. I'm Tor's wife, but that's not what I do. I cook, mainly. Really now? Can you talk about Tor? No. Can you talk about being a wife? Can you talk about cooking? A couple of times a week, I cook meals for everybody here. I'm actually a very good musician, but there's not much call for that around the fort. Ah well, won't be here forever. Really now? She sings a song for you, which you've never heard before. It's long and sad, about life in the caves and missing the sun above. She has a beautiful voice. And, you know, there's not much to say about that really. It's just a girl that sort of longs for a better life, and it sort of sets the tone of this game, because everybody in this game is at least a tiny bit miserable. They sort of adapt to the world, or adapt to living underground, but, you know, never as smoothly as you would love to. And this is, of course, the only land that we haven't seen yet, this entire fortress. There is one building I appear to have missed, but this is, that guy, yeah. A slender, worried-looking man, wearing impeccably pressed wizard's robes. He sits behind a book-laden desk. What's your name, sir? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Theral. I'm the sage for Fort Exile. Okay, what does that mean? Fort Exile? Okay, what's your job? I'm here to help you, okay? Help me about what? No. Help. There we go. Every day or so, our benevolent overlords hurl a few more souls into the hellish cesspit. Then they come to me, and I tell them just how bad things are. He chuckles dryly. Normally I'd be cheery, but today I'm just not in the mood. Anyway, I'm here to give information. Yeah, this dude is a bit of a doomer. In any case, he is fairly helpful. He sort of sets the stage for what we can find in the immediate vicinity. Our lovely neighbors, for example, the Nephilim and the Slitzerike, or nearby towns, or chances of escape, or how to get supplies, which we already know, or the local politics. The Nephilim you've heard of. There are many of them above ground, but you've never heard of the Slitzerike. Yeah, about that. So, you know, our characters supposedly know who the Nephilim are, but I'm assuming you don't, so let's talk about that. The doom of all of us, if the Slits don't get us first. Lots of them have been sent down here, along with the humans. Many migrate to lower caverns, but many more stay here, determined to take our lands. A large tribe of them lives to the north. They don't arrive at Fort Exile, by the way. They teleport in somewhere else. So this is the first non-human race that we're gonna have to deal with, and that's not particularly friendly. However, what's the other one? Lizardmen. Only live below ground. Intelligent, powerful fighters. Very magically talented. We've been at war with them for years, and lately things have been at a stalemate. They live to the west, which means stay away from the west as long as you can, because these guys are bastards in combat. I am not fucking around, these guys are terrible. Luckily I do know sort of a somewhat ideal progression to take your party to, so you get the least amount of butt hurt. So in any case, there was a lot of else to talk about, isn't there? Yeah, he was talking about information, yeah, Nephilim Slitzerike, Nephilim and the lizard people, nearby towns. Duvno is to the north. It's a farming community ravaged by Nephilim rage. That sounds lovely, that sounds fantastic. You'd have better luck at Silvar to the west. It's the largest settlement nearby. Help Duvno if you ever can. If it falls, this fort is next to go. Well, that's a bit grim, isn't it? I mean, you guys are here to sort of welcome us into the world, and the first thing you have to say to us is like, you know, get your ass to the front lines, because otherwise we're all pretty much fucked. Jesus. In any case, anything else to talk about? No, I need to type info. There we go. Chances to escape. Yes, I'm sure this guy has a lot of good ideas. No chance. None whatsoever. We all stay down here until the monsters hunt us down like dogs. Yeah, that's pretty much how grim it is in the world of Exile, and I love this. It's a really dark place. It's filled with a lot of pain. Anything else though? Anything else? Anything useful? When you talk about supplies, he essentially sends you back to Tor, which, you know, makes sense. So the last thing we want to talk about is local politics, which is actually fairly important. Each town has a mayor. The mayors form a council. The co-council co-rules with King Mika, lord of our homey little pit. Mika lives in the Great Cave. To get there, go a ways south and a ways west, which we are not gonna reach for a fairly long time. By the way, the council meets at the castle. It's a place you should know about. Okay, so talk about the castle. It's our pride and joy. We built a real castle out of rocks, crude magic, and spit. King Mika lives in there, orchestrating our desperate defenses. You should see it. It's reasonably impressive. It's in the Great Cave to the southwest. I don't know if he has anything to say about the cave itself. Yeah. So that gives you sort of the lay of the lands. There's 4 huge quadrants in the world map. Southwest is the Great Cave. Southeast is magically tainted hellhole, containing the Tower of Magic. Northeast is basically where we're gonna spend most of our early game time in. And then the northwest is the late game abyss. Essentially. Yes, this game is huge. I'm not exaggerating, this game is actually huge. At any rate, I do believe it is slowly becoming that time that we head out. I've been playing for a fairly long time actually. The problem is, before you sort of get into the action, you first have to do some world building. You sort of get this intro in Fort Exile, and the next thing I'm gonna do is actually take Theryl's advice. I believe I've explored everything, yeah. Take his advice, head west to Silvar. Because Silvar is sort of the first town that you know, actually has shops and shit. And if we're gonna survive, we are going to need some better equipment. We're not gonna get far with our UBI. We have like 100 gold, which isn't much. And as you can tell, we sort of started with 60 food. We're already down to like 40. So we're gonna need money fairly soon. Righty-ho, this is Silvar. Can we talk to the guards? Are they as grumpy as the guards in Fort Exile? You see a heavy-set woman in heavy bronze armor holding a halberd. She looks exactly identical to all the other guards. Yeah, that's a bit of a joke, because if you go into a town, you talk to any guard, they all basically have the same responses. I guess because there wasn't any point in sort of giving them unique dialogue, because, you know, they're not fairly relevant. They're just sort of there to deter you from killing townsfolk. In any case, what's your name? I'm Sue. What's your job? Defending this city from all who try to mess it up, so watch yourself. Yeah, there you go. There you go. In any case, Silvar is a fairly peaceful town. There is a special in the middle. This is a small pond in the middle of this peculiar park. There are neither lily pads nor ducks. There is, however, a lot of lichen, and tiny lizards frolic about. Strange. You hear humming, but it's not coming from any of the people. And this is a tiny hint. One of these statues, I believe it's this one, is not like the other. You can actually talk to it. It's a living statue. And it actually winks at you, yeah. You can ask his name, and he doesn't have one. You can ask his job, and he just stands there, watches and listens. Yeah, that's pretty much all you can get out of this guy. I know what to do. I know how to get this guy to sort of talk more, but you only learn this information a lot later into the game. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it as a bit of a mystery. Who the hell is this? A young, well-built man, weighed down by 2 heavy duffel bags. Okay. His name is Jay. He puts down one of the bags to shake your hands. Sweet. He's kind of a refugee, really. Why? I was a farmhand at Fort Duvno, 20 miles to the north. But then the Nephilim started coming south, and I decided to move to more hospitable territory. Yeah, so this is really to give you that idea that these people are not living very safely. They're constantly on their toes. The cat heads are starting trouble again. They're building some sort of fort at the north end of this huge cave. It's small now, and nobody's doing anything about it, but it'll be big soon. And then, watch out. You can find a lot more about it in Fort Dovno. Go east of Fort Exile and then north. Fantastic. That's basically the hint at one of our first dungeons. As he talked about, he talked about the cat heads. The Nephilim are basically cat people. They're very slender and dexterous, but fairly fragile. These 3 doors, by the way, are shops. So we have training, we have weapons, and we have armor. Training, of course, is not very useful. You can talk to this man. I'm gonna sort of speed through. He doesn't have a lot of interesting things to say. His name is Eric Scarhead, and you can probably talk about the scars. Or maybe not. Can I talk about the last name? No. In any case, this dude gives people training, and then they can go end up like him. Yeah. And this is fairly similar to character creation. Essentially, you can dump points into your stats, but of course you're gonna need gold now. That's not gonna be useful until we actually start gaining some levels. In any case, let's go talk to the weaponsmith. How you doing, buddy? I'm looking for some swords. His name is Ephraim. He shifts his weight so his sword turns towards you and smiles. Sweet. You can buy and sell weapons, don't have much of a stock. It's hard to get good metal, but we do our best. Can you get any metal? No. Okay, can we buy something? Let's see. Now we have 100 gold. We should spend that fairly wisely. I'm gonna waste at least some of it on food as well, so... I am going to get a bronze short sword for Charlie, and then a club and a stone tip spear. That basically gives us like one of each weapon type, which is gonna be very useful. Let's see, I can give the short sword to you, then Havel can have the bashing weapon, and the spear essentially goes to Robin. There we go. And that should give us a teensy bit of a fighting chance. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sell those stupid stone daggers. It don't give me any money, but, you know, they're useless anyway, so why not? There we go. The next thing we have to do is head to this shop right here, which is Anastasia's armor. Yes, we need to find some defensive gear as well. Middle-aged woman wearing a huge steel breastplate behind the counter. Okay, so her name is Anastasia. She's Ephraim's wife, which makes sense. These guys basically work together. I'm assuming there's a foundry somewhere. We wouldn't know where, but you know. Ideal in armor. You can buy some here if you have the cash, or sell some if you don't. Okay, so let's see what she actually has to sell. She has baldricks. Armors are basically better versions of baldricks, so I'm gonna buy a few of those, at least. Bucklers, helms, studded armor. Oof, I just don't have the money. Okay, so I think I would like, 3 leather armors and 4 helmets. I believe that's worth a go. Let's see, 3 is 24 and 4 is also 24 is 48, so I can afford that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Righty-ho. Let's see what we can do with that. You can take that. No. Take off the baldric, put on this, put on this. I'm basically gonna give slightly better armor to my melee guys. I'm gonna hope my magic casters just survive on their own. Pray to God. And basically distribute helmets across pretty much everybody. Is that good enough? Yeah, I'm gonna sell this. There we go. Gonna sell this as well. And some helmets. All around. Fantastic. And that should leave me with a teensy bit of money that I'm gonna use to buy food. No, wait. I gotta sell my garbage. That's 1. That's 2. And that is 3. Fantastic. So that's pretty much the shop's done. There's one more shop I'm gonna see here, but I'm not actually gonna buy anything from it because I have the power of like prescience. I know how this game works. And I know what to do to sort of min-max like a bastard. And I'm gonna do it. This is like one of the few games in the world that I'm very good at, so I'm gonna use my fucking abilities. Okay, let's see. So this is Silvar. It sort of consists of 4 quadrants. Down here, I believe we have the Boatsmith. His name is Kranz, and his job is he makes boats. Look at that. There's a big haul for them in these caves. You can get one for not much gold. I hope you do. The slits have been hell for my business. Anyway, if you want to purchase one, it's 350 fucking gold. I don't have that kind of money. I just don't. Although buying a boat is extremely crucial. You know, to finish certain quests. In any case, the slits, there's droves of them to the west, on the other side of the huge lake, and they pretty much own it. People don't even fish there anymore. It's too risky. Of course, people also need boats to get to the Great Cave to the south, yeah. There you go, there's like a few rivers running through the game. And you essentially need boats to sort of explore them. But it has a bit of a barrier because, you know, before you can do it, you have to sort of pass the money gap. You gotta like acquire a spare 350 coins. Which is actually a lot of money, especially for the early game. What else do we have here? Gruber's weapons, out of business. Oh, that's a bit sad. Okay, so before I try to break in here, I am going to save my game. Let's see, LP. Can I save this as currents? There we go. Now, about locked doors, usually the preferred way to open them is to actually lockpick them, but since we don't have any lockpicks, the best thing I can do is put my shoulder into it, which might hurt, but I'm gonna give it a go. I can do this. I can do this. Come on, lads, you can do this. Bash down the fucking door. There we go, there we go. So this gives us access to the shop, but, you know, since the shop is out of business, there's not much here, except... I forgot about this. I should have done this first. I bought a weapon for nothing. Yeah, there's a secret passage behind the shop, in a room that hasn't been visited in a long time, and is covered in dust. You see what looks like a thin wire, stretched across a narrow room. It doesn't look welcoming. If you proceed, you will attempt to disarm it. So this is our first foray into traps. I'm pretty sure I gave our thief a bit of a trap disarming skill, so I'm gonna have him have a go. And he does it. That's fantastic. So traps basically, it works like in D&D pretty much. You sort of roll a DC check and you pucker up and make sure nothing happens, because traps can be extremely nasty. They sort of range from a minor flame attack to poison to absolutely just fucking blowing your brains out. So yeah, in any case, our reward for finding this little secret is a nice sword, and we don't actually know how the sword works. I can sort of look at the info. we have the bronze sword, and we can sort of see the damage, which is 6 and 1 bonus. We can look at the short sword, but we don't really have any info, which means we're gonna have to find like a sage to actually identify it. But I'm gonna use it anyway, because I'm pretty sure it is better than the actual bronze sword. Which means I'm gonna have to give this to somebody else, actually. Can I give it to Dave? Maybe he can fuck some ass when he gets bored, or runs out of spell points. In any case, what else do we have to do around town? Let's see. The sign reads, adventurers needed, inquire at the castle. I will eventually. Is that a guard? A man in battered armor seems to be drinking himself into a stew. Oh, buddy, you shouldn't be doing that. That's a bad idea. His name is Chuck. His words are slurred, and vomit seems to be soon oh wow, he's in deep. When you get like near vomiting, yeah. It's not a good sign. This lad is a mercenary. Fighting the cat heads, then the slits, then the cat heads, then the slits. I've beaten up everybody. I'm on vacation now. Go away. I can sort of get the sentiment. I'm assuming fighting all these monsters probably sort of does something to your mental health, I can imagine. And this is, I presume, the bar. Can we talk to the barkeep? He's very busy, and he has a big beard, apparently. What's his name? Gary, what's your job? I sell drinks, 1 gold. You can also get a room for the night, 5 gold. We have a nice room available. He polishes for a bit. Oh, and for 10 gold, I can help you with item storage, which is really useful. If you've ever played like RPGs, especially old ones, you probably remember sort of dropping items all around the place and then leaving and coming back and they're fucking gone. Well, pretty much the same thing happens in this game, except for one exception. The developer actually was clever enough to sort of take this into account. And you can buy an item storage, which essentially keeps your items permanently, which is fairly useful. But since we don't have fuck all for items right now, I'm just gonna buy a drink because I can. Here you go. It's some sort of beer made out of fermented fungus. Strangely, bizarrely, almost horrifyingly, it's good. And if you buy a room, if you decide to buy a room, you essentially end up here and you regain all your spell points and health points without actually wasting any food, which is fairly useful. In any case, what else is there around town? I believe there's one corner I haven't done yet, which is right here. There's a bit of a docks, not very useful right now. What's this though? The sign says City Hall. So this must be where the mayor is at, yeah. Look at him, he looks fucking swish. He has like a robe and like fancy blue clothes. A man in nice well-cut robes shuffles papers behind the desk. He seems pleased to see you. Hey buddy, how you doing? Mayor Jonathan Stellas. You can just call me Jonathan. Well, ain't that grand. What's your job? I can sort of guess. Yeah, he's the mayor. And a member of the council. It keeps me busy. Can I talk about you being a mayor? Yeah. He settles the odd dispute, orders the troops, and when he gets attacked, I marshal the defenses. I take care of the records. It's a lot of work. Okay, can we talk about more of those? Can we sort of talk about the troops? Can we talk about getting attacked? Defenses. How about the records? In the room to the west. Go help yourself. Not very interesting, but necessary. I keep track of everybody who comes to Exile I can find. Someday, people will want to know what happens out here, and when they do, our records will be here. Oh, he's a bit of a pencil pusher, but you know. I'm not big on bureaucracy myself, but I do admire the people that sort of do it because they want to do it right, you know? In any case, was there anything else he wants to talk about? Yeah, the council. Do you have anything more to say about the council? Yeah. Exile has 6 large cities, and this is one of them. The mayors of each form a council, which co-rules with King Mika. It works very well, actually. I'm proud to be a member. So we have a sort of, I don't know, a sort of representative democracy, I suppose? Because, you know, I'm assuming the mayor gets elected, and every mayor is only governing like a small number of people, so. Yeah, it does sound like this King Mika lad. He's fairly important. We're gonna have to meet him at some point. Maybe we could go have a look through the records, see if there's anything to find. You find a piece of ratty paper, clearly quite old, tucked inside a book. It has peculiar symbols. Yes, thank you very much. What's basically happening is the world is full of trinkets, and you have to make sure you can find them, because they are very useful. This one, as luck would have it, I still remember, is a scroll of Fireball. And since you haven't really seen the combat in action yet, I'm gonna leave it to your imagination. For now. The last thing we seemingly have to check out is this farm. There's some cows. Look at that. I love cows. Cows are amazing. The only thing I hate about cows is the fact that we completely turn them into like domestic animals. I love cows. They're so gentle and sort of chill, and you can sort of talk to them and they just sort of, you know, stare at you and say moo, and then you say moo back, and they're just really, really pleasant animals to be around. And it seems like this lady is in charge of them. Can I talk to the lady? There's a pale woman working behind the counter. She has the jitters. That's not a good sign. What's going on with you? So her name is Carol, sort of. She smiles nervous. Are you hiding something, woman? What's wrong with you? You can buy rations. I have some cows. What's wrong with the cows? I try to take care of the poor dears. I'd love to sell you some milk. She chuckles for no apparent reason. But whenever I try to take care of them, I hear noises. What? Noises? Out behind the shop, clunking and stuff. It makes me nervous. Yeah, I can tell. So there is something weird going on behind the shop, sure, but how about those rations though? Essentially, this lady sells food, so you use 1 gold to buy 6 food, which I'm not gonna do, for a good reason, which I'm hopefully gonna show you really soon. In any case, can we sort of have a look at the cows? I kinda wanna see the cows. Can we bash in the door? I hope the lady won't mind. I just really want to see some cows. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna save my game right here. Can I talk to the cows? Cow says moo. Can I ask your name? Yeah, cow says moo. Can I, cow says moo. Fantastic. Now the thing about this cow pit, it actually does hide a secret. Right here. I'm not super sure if I'm gonna be able to handle this, but I'm just gonna show you. You see shapes ahead, lurking in the shadows. You start to back away, but then they see you. They're Nephilim spies. Yes! This is how bad it is in this game world. The enemy is basically hiding in your backyard, pretty much. And these guys are art bastards to fight as well. This is basically gonna give you like an intro into how the combat works. So obviously the combat is turn-based. First, you move all your guys, then the enemy moves all their guys, and back and forth. Every character has a certain amount of AP, which you can see here, Mia, below. 4 AP is like the base. You can move like 3 spaces at attack. If you move 4 spaces, you're pretty much done. It's I'm not gonna get into the details. I just assume that I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have Charlie sort of move next to the wizard, because he's gonna do the most damage. I'm gonna try to kill him as fast as I can. Havel should be fine sort of playing defense. I'm gonna put you in the way here and have you attack this lad. Now about Robin, I don't really have a ranged weapon for Robin yet, so I guess I'm gonna have to go melee. And I think I'm getting fairly lucky. These guys are doing a decent amount of damage. But when it comes to Exile, the real meat and potatoes comes with the magic casting. So this is Raven. And Raven, I've trained in Mage Skills. And this gives you a little taste of what the Mage Skills actually do. So you have 7 levels. I trained Raven up until level 4, and essentially everybody knows spells up until level 3. The reason I trained to 4 is because we are going to find these level 4 spells fairly soon, and I don't want to particularly waste money on Mage Skills. So yeah, let's have a look-see. I'm not gonna go through all the spells just yet. You're just gonna have to see, I'm gonna use them all eventually, so you're just gonna have to see what they do. First thing I want to do is probably slow down the mage. That's essentially gonna give him less turns to fight, which hopefully is gonna give me a fighting chance. And if you have a very keen eye, you may notice that these guys have strange names. We've been talking about the Nephilim for like the entire game, essentially. These guys are not Nephilim, these guys are Nepharim. They have a different name, which means they kick ass even more. The Nephirim are basically stronger versions of the Nephilim. Still cat people, but you know. They're just gonna fuck your ass a lot more. In any case, these are the priest spells. There's a lot to do here. You can bless people, which gives them like an advantage to attack and defense. You can heal, you can cure poison, you can turn undead. However, what I think I want to do is start wounding. The wound spell is really useful because it doesn't have a damage type. It's basically just pure magical damage. And there is not many monsters that are resistant to this kind of damage. So I'm gonna try to take down at least one of the fighters. And what am I gonna do with Dave? I could cast Strength. Essentially there's a Bless spell, as I've mentioned before. Sort of the advantage in combat. Strength is basically the mage version of the Bless spell, which is extremely useful. I'm not too sure if it's useful this time around though. I think I might just go with pure damage. Let's just go with Flame. So Flame fairly predictably just sort of casts a flame. And does a bit of damage. There we go. I do believe Charlie should be able to handle the priest, or the shaman, if you will. But I am gonna have to start healing, pretty sure. Raven. I'm gonna have you cast a flame right on top of the shaman, which kills him completely, which is perfect. I might not even have to heal. I can probably just wound this lad and wound him again. Yeah, this is why I spread my magic skills across 3 people, so you can sort of get one of your characters killed. Damn it! Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to try again. Like, having some of your characters die, it's actually not the end of the world, but it takes quite a bit out of you to sort of resurrect him, and in the early game it's just not feasible. So I am gonna save scum really hard, because fuck it. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna have to change my tactics just a little bit. I'm gonna have to heal Havel, apparently. I'm still gonna slow down the priest though, that's probably a good idea. I'm gonna have Doc, of course, heal Havel. And Dave, what I'm gonna do with Dave, I'm gonna have you wound. Kinda wanna get rid of the priest as fast as I can. Or not, I guess not, fuck it. Oh shit. Okay, so the Nephar Shaman casts Holy Scourge, which is one of their most powerful spells. It slows all my characters, and it curses them. And the curse essentially is the opposite of a bless, which means they get hit more easily in combat and they take more damage, which means I am extremely screwed. Yeah, I am extremely screwed. Shit, what do I do now? I'm gonna try to focus on damage output, really. That's one down. And hopefully that's gonna be 2 down. Oh, come on! Okay, I am very rapidly making a fool of myself. It's fine, it's K, I got this, it's fine. I got caught a bit off guard by that Holy Scourge, which is a huge pain in my ass, but I'm not gonna give that guy a chance and see if I can sort of kill him outright. Come on. Oh, we still didn't kill him. And he casts poison. Okay, poison is bad, but it's not the end of the world. We can cure poison, it's fine. Let's see, so I'm gonna cast Flame. I immediately get into the swing of things. Like, if you're new to this game, I'm probably going pretty fast, but I know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna cure poison on Charlie fairly soon. There we go. And then I'm gonna have Dave cast spells. Sure, I'm gonna have Dave cast spells. How about another wound spell? We need to get rid of these warriors as fast as we can. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's a cow. There's a cow coming to watch me fight. That's beautiful. I am fighting for your right to sort of, I don't know, get milked. So we have different kinds of heal spells. There's a small heal, there's a medium heal, there's a big heal in here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. And this one essentially heals the entire party, which is fairly useful. And then I'm gonna have Dave attack. There we go. And thus we have one more asshole to go. It should be easy. I'm just gonna go all out. There we go. And that's pretty much the end of the first combat encounter of the game. There's not much to gain except XP, and, you know, randomized loot, which seems to be fairly fine. In this case, we get a broadsword, we get a dagger, and we get, wow, quite a bit of gold. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's beautiful. You can sort of talk to the lady. She doesn't really have anything to say about what we just did. We sort of rescued her, but she just doesn't give a shit. So, you know, maybe it's not gonna take long before, like, the next couple of Nephilim move in. So, you know, in any case, yeah, I do believe I'm gonna cut it here. Like, this was like a first taste into how this game works. I hope I actually managed to sort of interest people into this game, because it is actually really, really good. And I'm gonna sort of try to go through it all, explore everything there is to see in the giant game world. And I'll meet you guys next time to do just that.